Greetings to you all, and welcome back to Let's Play Red Alert. We have a mission to do. We have a radar dome to capture.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
And we have this kind of makeshift defense.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
We shall use the age-old tactic of damaging it down with one tank,
Affirmative.
so that we can capture it with just
Vehicle acknowledged.
around the wall,
Acknowledged.
so that we can capture it with just one engineer. Meantime, we're going to assess the rest of the situation.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
We should probably take out these two guys, because we're going to want this ore at some point in the future. And we'll build us some more artillery units. Now, artillery units I find to be quite a good unit.
Yes, sir.
It's almost a shame that Allies don't get the V2 rockets.
Yes, sir.
V2 rockets have a lot longer range,
Yes, sir.
but the artillery, that's just its name, the artillery unit
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
is kind of more accurate, is more effective against infantry, and really that's all you need because you have your tanks anyway.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the problem is that Soviets have the best and longest ranged base defense. We've seen it before, the Tesla coil. And you just wish as allies that you had something with a bit longer range, and unfortunately you don't.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
But you gotta make do with the hand you've been dealt. And they're very cheap, artilleries.
Engineering.
So why not throw a few into the mix?
Engineering.
Unit ready.
As you said before,
Low power.
okay,
First objective met.
so to sell it straight away to get myself out of low power. That's how important that thing was. My spy has picked up a gun and is now a minigunner.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
The people are not pleased.
Building.
The army is a-coming.
Reporting.
Now this could either be because
Yes, sir.
I completed my first objective, so the game goes, right, send a force. Or more likely it's because we took a couple shots at the harvester.
Agreed. Yes, sir.
And we all know how they feel about their harvesters. But I think we can hold this. Maybe not. That's a MiG. And that's also a MiG.
Yes,
They were
sir.
flashing on my screen. I don't know if that's picked up in the recording, but they were
Unit ready.
strobing like no one's business.
Acknowledged.
That's not artillery, our own tanks.
Acknowledged.
That V2 is putting up quite the fight.
Acknowledged.
Okay, now's our chance to explain MiGs. MiGs are the upgraded aircraft in the game. Many people will say, MiGs? Ah, yaks, they are the superior unit. And I will agree in a couple of ways. They are funnier, they are more entertaining, and they make the better noise. MiGs, however, are better in everything else. This fight is not going so well.
Yes, sir.
Now MiGs, as hopefully the game will demonstrate in just a moment when they turn around.
Yes, sir.
Nope,
Affirmative.
back to refuel. Okay?
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
MiGs fire rockets,
Unit ready.
as opposed to the Yak's minigun. This is good, because rockets are good against things like tanks and buildings, you know, that thing that doesn't move. Whereas miniguns are good against...
Awaiting orders. Very well. Affirmative.
Spy will get his revenge. He will actually die, the dog will win, but still.
Yes, sir.
Yaks are good against infantry, the kinds of things that know how to crawl.
Acknowledged.
So Yaks generally don't hit their targets, whereas
Ready and waiting.
MiGs are effective against buildings, a relatively easy target to hit. They're also good against tanks, and tanks
Yes, sir.
tend to move slow,
Unit lost.
and they're good at hitting those. You've built one of my tanks! To hell with you. Why would you do this? It's a complete waste of money.
Building.
You could fit an extra barrel for an extra $150. It's gonna take me a while to get used to calling that dollars.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
We have a lot of money, but we don't actually have much stuff.
Training.
We're gonna get some rocket launcher soldiers,
Our base is under attack.
Yes, sir.
for the simple reason that...
Unit ready.
Interesting choice of target there, mate.
Training. Unit
For the
lost.
simple reason that otherwise these MiGs are gonna kill me. Now the downside to
Unit
MiGs...
ready.
Yaks and MiGs.
Unit lost.
Why didn't I think of this? Did we just fire a rocket into the sky and hit him? I'm impressed. Another successful bailout.
Affirmative. At once.
Now the downside to MiGs is that they are not very good against infantry.
Yes, sir.
And my only source of anti-air, apart from buildings, that's not it, that's it,
Ready.
Yes, sir.
are the rocket launcher troops. That's going to die.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Wow,
lost.
you really don't like that.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting orders. Acknowledged.
Be a little scared, Harvester.
Acknowledged.
It's you they want.
Prepared.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Training.
So yes, MiGs are weak to my only anti-air unit, rocket soldiers. That is the only real downside to MiGs, but
Unit lost.
it's not a downside that makes them bad. MiGs are a very good unit, and as soon as I'm given the chance to build some, I will build a lot.
Agreed.
And this guy agrees with me.
Building.
We need more tanks so we can go and have words with the people parked on our war field.
Reporting.
Ah, this should be enough.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Very well.
Not sure who's with the female voice we just heard then.
Agreed.
Is it you?
Yes, sir.
Don't agree with me if it wasn't you.
Awaiting orders.
Okay, back to harvesting. We should be able to cover anything that happens now.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Or we could just stand here and outrange them. This is also a viable strategy. And again, the second I move, they attack through the... I don't know. The cliff area. The open cliff. Yes. Okay, this is in our favour. The anti-air is slightly less needed now.
Yes, sir.
Run away, tank, run away. His friend defeated, he knows his place.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
They still want to take this down at any cost. It's not a move I agree with.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
But hey, that's their choice. This is also a move I don't agree with. They can reach.
Waiting orders. Affirmative. Reporting.
Good lord.
Affirmative.
I take it back. That is a superb plan.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Let's go have words.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Now, one thing that my rocket men are going to be weak to are those rockets.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Poor choice of words on my part, but there we go. Because whilst the V2 rockets are aiming at tanks, they're going to miss and hit my men.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
That is the fact of using V2 rockets. They will aim at whatever's at the front, they will miss, and they will hit whatever's behind it.
Acknowledged.
Now you'll notice they keep trying to kind of retreat.
Affirmative.
The game is built when it uses V2 rockets to try and keep at a good distance, which is smart. But it leads to these weird fights where all it wants to do is run away, whereas the rest of the units wants to run in.
Building.
So a bit strange, but hey, it's interesting.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
This tank's just running away because he's a coward. There's no logic behind that one.
Insufficient funds.
And yes, I should really replace the harvester that was destroyed. That might be a wise move. I'll let that one guy go away because he isn't going to do anything in the base.
Acknowledged.
These people who keep retreating are becoming annoying,
Unit lost.
but they will all meet their end in the end.
Affirmative.
Unit lost. Unit
Waiting
lost.
Grenadiers are making short work of my entire army.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Now, I was about to complain about the fact that their air force never runs out of units, but then that's actually realistic to the game, because neither does mine.
Ready.
I'm able to rebuild planes, so should they be. But for some reason, I don't like the fact that they can. I think it's unfair that they can do the same things I can do.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
They should have unnatural and unfair limitations placed upon them.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Now, hopefully this is the last tank they have to try and... Why did you not even try to crush? It's like you were predicting they would dodge.
At once. Yes,
Unit
sir.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Okay, just finish off the units, and then we will try to take out the harvesters
Affirmative.
with what remains of our force, which is not much.
Yes, sir.
One valiant guard. Here comes the locals. Not very pleased.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Will we kill that? I think we will.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
It's time for some animation cancelling.
Acknowledged.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
We've got some new school techniques going to work here.
Acknowledged.
One technician, run away.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
This is not a fight we're going to win anymore.
Affirmative.
Let's go pick up some mates.
Unit lost.
Classic schoolyard fighting.
Yes,
Fight the fight when it looks like you're going to win, especially if the guy can't fight back like a harvester. And as soon as his mates come, and the fight becomes even, run away and get your much bigger mates.
Acknowledged.
It's advice for everyone.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
We can finally rebuild our ore truck. We could have rebuilt it earlier, but I was building tanks. Because as soon as we get past minute 5 in the game, my mind just goes, right, war factory tanks. That's it, that's as far as we go. That is the entire mental process.
Affirmative.
See, if you just kept going straight, you would have crushed him.
Acknowledged.
That's more like it.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
You would have thought that crushing a flamethrower guy, who clearly has some kind of paraffin pack on his back, would cause an explosion or some damage to the tank, but no, it's fine.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Now, to me, that looks like I'm being attacked by ore trucks.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
It is truly terrifying.
Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
It's a fight we could win. It's not a fight we can win easily. We need good crush, and we need to focus down the heavy tanks, not the harvesters.
Acknowledged.
Fearsome though they are.
Insufficient funds.
Reporting.
That dog could be a problem. Okay, the dog went for the tank.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
We are fine.
At once.
We are A-okay, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Until dogs are able to pierce tank armor, we're in business.
Unit lost.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
You're probably thinking to yourself, ha!
Acknowledged.
Dogs that can pierce tank armor, that will never happen.
Yes, sir.
Terror drones, people. Terror drones.
Awaiting order.
Not in this game, fortunately, but in later games in the Red Alert universe, you will find them.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
We have killed 3 harvesters, and I only ever saw 3 harvesters.
Affirmative.
That doesn't mean the computer's not bothering to rebuild any harvesters. It may do just that. But if the computer is feeling particularly poor, we might be in a very good place here. We don't have any units besides these 4, and this guy isn't even up for a fight.
Yes, sir.
So it's very much fingers crossed territory at this point that they don't have either an army ready to go, or they have another one. Okay, though, I think we did some good damage there.
Vehicle
We'll hold
reporting.
this position, kind of, and
Yes, sir.
but actually use our second ore truck. It's so far away, it's probably not worth it.
Acknowledged.
And we are now on the back foot defensive.
Building.
Want 1 unit to help deal with infantry. Anything on their team that moves, once again notice teams. A country's army is a team. Anything on their team that moves,
Awaiting orders.
I am concerned about.
Affirmative.
Anything that doesn't move, I don't care. It's time to replenish. Now, he can't harvest these patches that these men are stood on, because that's a power drop.
Yes, sir.
Not a particularly scary one.
Vehicle
Unit
reporting.
ready.
Not sure what its plan is.
Yes, sir.
We'll perhaps send you back.
Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
That's what I want.
Vehicle reporting.
In pillbox range as well is good.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
That's it, you crawl into my harvester.
Yes, sir.
That's a plan we can get behind. Okay, they're going to be annoyed. Nah, what am I doing with this speed? It's hoping they don't have any more units to send at me through annoyance. Ah, they got a couple.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Slow it down a touch because we're going to be doing crushing. Good predictive movement.
Affirmative.
You should also probably join in.
Insufficient
Yes, sir.
funds.
Affirmative. Yes,
Kill
sir.
that just with tank shells.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
If we all focus on one man, we can kill him in perhaps 3 barrages of bullets, but,
Acknowledged.
you know, what's that, 15 tank shells to kill a man is not efficient. When we could use those tank shells on a tank.
Awaiting orders.
Well, keeping them very well pinned back here. That one I am going to shoot because I don't want to come in range of the base defences.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders.
I could force crush this guy.
Yes, sir.
People who don't know, you can force crush by pressing Alt and clicking on a unit. Forces you to move on top of him rather than fire at him. I'm sure we've discussed before that pressing Control and attacking the ground is force attack.
Affirmative.
That's one of the best ways of killing spies.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
We have an anti-infantry specialist here, at the back, watching. We have an end of a video, right here, right now.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the lyric to a song, I'm sure it is. That's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you'll join me next time. What are we doing? We're mocking the enemies because I think they're out of harvesters. Then we're pushing in. We're probably going to take the base and then go on a sub-hunt. I fear the sub-hunt so much. Hopefully you'll join me for my fears, and I shall see you then. I should pause the game first. Success was mine.